Now, when I grew up, most politicians were campaigning in order to get elected on stuff that would improve your lifestyle. So their entire campaign was pretty much vote for me, and this is what I'm going to do in order to make your lifestyle better. Whether it was lowering taxes or lowering the crime rate, they would say that they would do certain things in order to make you feel more comfortable. And they would also say, well, if you vote for my opponent, he will actually do the opposite. The interesting thing, however, is that as you look today towards modern politicians, whether in the European Union or in the United States, they often campaign on things that will make your life worse. And they actively say that they will. They will say that, yeah, we're going to increase taxes. We're going to increase spending. We're going to be soft on crime. We don't care about these types of businesses. We're going to take away your gas stove. We're going to take away your car. This is what they're campaigning on, and it's a little bit shocking that they're getting voted. So the question is, like, what is the average left-wing voter that supports these types of policy think about when they vote like that? And today I found a video by a proeminent left-leaning ideologue. I think his name is Louis C.K. It came up in my comment section every now and then, but I don't really know much about the man besides the fact that he's a left-leaning opinion influencer. And he expresses exactly why left-leaning people vote the way they do. So let's listen to it because it's incredibly insightful.
But my feeling is they should open it, the border, and just let them pour in, let everybody pour in, and then the answer, which is, well, then there'll be all these problems. Yes, there should be. It shouldn't be so great here, is what I'm saying.
So this is the hypothesis, right? The reason to open the border is to make it bad for the people that are already here. Now, take into account that the people that are already here, I don't know if he's aware or not, but also includes the previous people that came through the border. So, like, the people that came in yesterday will not benefit from more people coming in because he says, like, he admits, yes, there's going to be problems. So if you go into the land of milk and honey and you cause problems and then more people come in and they cause problems as well, it's going to be bad for you as well. And at one point, the land of milk and honey is not going to be the land of milk and honey. And he actually agrees to this.
In America, it shouldn't be. It's a weird thing to sequester a certain group of people and try to keep upping their lifespan and their lifestyle and just keep trying to increase that for this group of people. And then this pressure of people trying to come in so they can enjoy it.
Notice how he views himself as the social engineer. Like, he doesn't view it as people actually fought for the land they're in and people made their own lives good. He views it as a social engineer, like playing a video game where, you just do the mouse click and you build the city hall here and you build the temple over there, and then the wealth of that place just increases because of your decisions. And of course, I'm willing to bet that he views himself separate from all of this. It's like, well, if things go bad, it probably doesn't affect him because he lives separated, right? It's not in his backyard. And I also have a feeling that if things go really bad, he has the money and the opportunity to go live somewhere else. So it's kind of like, imagine Martha's Vineyard, right? Like, the people on Martha's Vineyard, they do not deal with the problems that Texas deals with. And if they were, like if a lot of people would go to Martha's Vineyard and cause problems over there, then the people from Martha's Vineyard would just leave. They can just simply afford to pack up and leave. So they're not affected by this. It's what's called a luxury belief. Luxury belief is certain things that the wealthy believe in that doesn't affect them but makes them feel virtuous for saying it.
And then it gets worse and worse down here. I mean, I'm not Canada. It's really just from down here.
So again, like he's in Canada and he's talking about open borders in the US, and he's also saying that, yeah, like, this is a good thing, even though, like, it causes problems. It's a good thing because it's not okay for the US to live so good. This is the mindset, right? Like, it's just that this person is expressing it out loud. Like, I got nothing against him. He's being honest. He's actually saying what he thinks. But, like, take into account that there are millions, if not tens of millions, that think this way.
Here, there's something wrong with that. That's not a system that's working. and it forces people to do cruel.
Again, the system is working perfectly, right? But you want to ruin it. Like you're looking at the system, and you're applying, I guess, this biblical notion of the original sin. Like you think that Americans are inherently sinful, they're inherently evil, so they deserve to have their land of milk and honey taken away from them. And you use words like the system isn't working when it obviously is. Now he's making the argument that in order for the system to work, like other countries are having it bad. And you need to ignore human history and human nature in order to make it about America. Because human beings are very territorial. Incredibly so. Like throughout human history, the fight and the conquest for land is observable in almost every single civilization that could afford it. The difference with America, however, is that compared to other world hegemons, America is very soft. Like comparing it to the Soviet Union, comparing it to the CCP, comparing it to Saudi Arabia, comparing it to Iran, America is actually one of the softest world hegemons that the world ever had. And if America falls, it's not that the world is going to become this amazing place. Like, no, someone else will take its place. Like, there's going to be another world hegemon that comes in, and it's not going to be like any other nation that you pick from. You know, like, Liechtenstein is a nice nation. Maybe they can be the world hegemon for a change. Like, no, it's going to be one of the competitors. It's probably going to be Russia. It's probably going to be China. And they're not going to have this mentality that, we shouldn't actually have a good lifestyle because we're influencing other people negatively. Take into account that there are many countries, especially in Africa, for instance, like if you look at the Blood Diamonds War and other cultural issues that came on that continent, there are countries that have it bad, and they also make it worse for the neighboring countries. Because usually their leaders are very corrupt and the leaders are draining all the resources. So it's a very bizarre thing to say that, we shouldn't have it good because someone else has it bad. The thing is, like, I would understand if the people having it bad would complain, but you're complaining because you're having it good and you want, like, your mother, your father, your son, your family to have it worst. Like, it's insane. And I genuinely, like, don't think that he applies this mindset in his day-to-day life. Again, it's luxury belief. Like, you're saying it to sound virtuous. I don't think that he lives in a home. I mean, he probably lives somewhere pretty decent, right, compared to the rest of the world. I don't think he lives in a straw hut. And he lives in his house, and he doesn't say, I shouldn't be as comfortable to live like this with all the amenities of the first world when there are homeless people in the street. So I need to allow as many homeless people to come into my house as possible. Do you think that he thinks this way? Do you think that he's like, okay, well, maybe I should allow a couple of people to set up tents into my backyard and then open my door and allow strangers into my house because it's just not fair for me and my children to live this life of luxury. I don't know if he has kids, but like this is the mindset that they're using, right? Like, I understand if the homeless person wants to get into your house because that's his interest, but like, why would you want to just open the doors to your house and allow as many people as possible in order to create like this act of cosmic justice, I suppose?
Cruel things to other people. There's a lot of people that die so Americans can be safe.
There's Americans that die so Americans can be safe. This is absolutely ridiculous. And the idea that if America wasn't there, those people wouldn't die is also part of the interesting aspect. Like, without America, you now get China over there. And they're a lot more brutal, by the way. Like, there are videos that are coming from Africa with how the Chinese behave towards the African citizens and the African workers. It's horrifying. Like, look at how Qatar behaves towards the workers that they get. But anyway, you know, like, I don't think he's willing to listen. I think his worldview is incredibly bigoted. And the solution to the problem is, like, first of all, there may not be a solution. Like, certain nations may genuinely, like, not reach the same standard that America has reached ever due to various factors. But the second solution is that those nations need to grow themselves. Because if they don't, there will always be other world powers that will take advantage of them. Even with America out of the picture, as I mentioned before, there's like China, Russia, Saudi Arabia. Like other nations will move in if America moves out. But anyway, remember what I said, that communism is about envy? And I do think that human envy can be productive. Like, you notice that your neighbor has a car and you work twice as hard in order to get 2 cars just to be on top of your neighbor, right? Like that envy caused you to be more productive. It pushed you in a realm of competition. But the type of envy that leftists have is to burn down the car of the neighbor because they're envious and they don't like the neighbor to have a good lifestyle. They want the neighbor to open his doors and allow as many homeless people in his house as possible because they don't find it justified that he lives so good. It is just bizarre. Hearing it out loud. Again, I've got nothing against Louis C.K. I mean, he's just one guy, but he's not the only one that thinks this way. He's not the only one that has this ideology, and it explains so much on why so many people vote for politicians that actually advocate that they will make your life worse. So let me know what you guys think, and if you didn't know, there's a link into the pinned comment, which will take you over to my live stream channel. So hopefully you guys will subscribe to that, and I'll see you there. Take care.